So here we go. Elon Musk is heading to the CIA today to meet with Director John Radcliffe about his government efficiency program.
And Madeleine Rivera joins us from Washington with all the details. Good morning to you, Maddie.
Hi, guys. Good morning. CIA Director John Radcliffe said at a threats assessment hearing on Capitol Hill last week that Doge has not been on the CIA campus. That appears to be changing. A CIA spokesperson tells Politico Musk is heading to the agency today at Radcliffe's invitation. This would seem to be Radcliffe's most substantial meeting yet with Musk. As the director previously said, his interactions with Musk have been limited to cabinet meetings. The point of today's conversation is reportedly to talk about government efficiency. National security agencies were exempt from that federal buyout employee program that President Trump unveiled in January. But the CIA, under Radcliffe's direction, offered the buyouts to its workforce anyway to align with President Trump's priorities. Musk is pushing ahead with his efforts to cut costs as people around the country continue their protests against him. There were several Tesla takedown demonstrations across the U.S. and Europe over the weekend. This comes as vandalism and attacks targeting Tesla property grow. Authorities say they'll be ramping up their actions against these incidents. But Musk, though, is pushing for law enforcement to go further, saying it is time to arrest those funding the attacks. Arresting their puppets and paid foot soldiers won't stop the violence, he says. The FBI has a task force aimed at cracking down on these attacks, which Attorney General Pam Bondi labeled as domestic terrorism. Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian.
All right. Thanks so much.
Maddie.
It was happening right here in New York City, too.
Yeah, happening in Canada and in Europe as well.
Yeah. I like this meeting that's happened amongst Director Radcliffe, who used to be over all of intelligence in the past administration. He also used to be a U.S. congressman and U.S. attorney. When you're talking about intelligence, you know, there's so many funds that you don't want our enemies tracking because we have assets all over the world. But there is a safety part of this conversation I think is necessary. Right now, the best app on the market right now, and I don't want to relitigate this because we talked about it last night, is Signal. That's why they're using Signal, our assets. If Elon Musk can help our director create something internally that is more secure, I think it would be great for our intelligence officials. Hopefully they get to the bottom of that in today's meeting.
Yeah, he was also in Wisconsin over the weekend because there's that big Supreme Court election because there's a liberal running against a conservative, and they will be hearing a lot of different court cases that are crucial to our country. So there's a very important election tomorrow.
It's on Fox Nation right now, but if you want to know exactly what Elon Musk is going to be doing there, he's going to the Pentagon too. These guys got about, 130 days, 6 months to do it. What they are doing with Doge might go down as one of the most successful operations ever, despite what you've been hearing. And a lot of it's because they haven't been communicating effectively what they're doing. But getting computers to talk to each other, having invoices, people explain what an invoice is before they're being paid, is going to save us. It's going to save us billions of dollars. It's going to get very close to $1 trillion. And as he said in Wisconsin last night, if we can cut $1 trillion, and we could make through efficiency, we could actually. We can cut $1 trillion out of spending and then cut $1 trillion with using efficiency. We can get very close to getting an even budget and then start working on the deficit. You have all these people talking about we have 4 payroll processors, 259 departments. They estimate $500 billion in fraud. If we could just get computers to talk to each other, and the example much best given is a 9-month-old gets a small business loan. How do they do it? It's through fraud. Well, why? How could you stop it? If Social Security was able to talk to small business, as soon as you typed it in, it would come up that that person with the ID that was stolen is a 9-month-old. So when you have Medicare payments, well, what do you do? We're not cutting Medicare. He's saying, look, you can't get Medicare payments in New York and Connecticut. Well, how are you getting that now? New York doesn't talk to Connecticut. So can we get the computers to talk to each other? Is anyone offended? Is that a Republican idea or a Democrat idea? No. Our computer system's 50 years old. By just doing these efficiency things, using technology quickly, we can immediately, even Social Security, they talk about that big vault where all of our stuff is. 22 million documents are there. He thinks they can document all this stuff and put it computerized in about 3 more weeks. You do that automatically when you have a chance to retire, or you're 120 years old, you don't get payments. You're under 62, you get payments. This will be a way to wipe things out without hurting payments.
If he could do that, this would be great for our country.
I'm I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.